Okay, good. Okay. Good? Okay. Today I'm going to introduce you to the new Ozone bar. Up until now, we've kept the same chicken loop, even though we've upgraded the bar until now. And now finally, Ozone have released the new and fully updated quick release for 2018. So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about, is actually the quick release. The quick release now is what we call like a seatbelt system, which means when you release it, you can actually just click it back in without having to move the hat. So if I release the bar, it pops out. Now if I want to reset it, all I have to do is pop it back in. Yeah, release it and just pop it back in. So for example, if you've released it on the water, kite's on its safety line, you just recover it and just put it back together, and it's really easy to reset and keep going. Besides that, there's a few other features on the bar itself. First off, we'll start from the bottom. The chicken loop itself is a nice new molded PU. It's really thick, really hard wearing. You're not going to get this to break very easily. It's also slightly bit better in colder conditions. It's a bit more malleable for snow kiting when you're going around. Next is the new chicken finger. This is part of the new loop mechanism. It's nice and rotatable. It's actually made out of a nice malleable plastic or rubber. And that fits in nicely for when you're hooked in. Like that. Now, some other cool parts on this are they've actually got a little hat now that covers the swivel for the safety line. That actually really nicely locks in into the chicken loop, so it's not dangling around anymore. You've got multiple choices. You can actually ride it like this in full safety mode. So immediately, if you unhook or release, the kite will safety. You can also ride it in suicide mode. And if you accidentally release it, or when you're doing freestyle, the kite doesn't automatically safety. But if you do need it, you can always release it and the kite will go into safety mode as that. Pretty standard. There will be multiple sizes of loop. Obviously racers, kids, people with shorter arm, women will like the nice the shortest one. This is the medium size, and there'll obviously be the large freestyle size of the loop for people who love unhooking and freestyle. Next upgrade is the swivel. The swivel is now super easy to operate. It's still a manual swivel. I really prefer swivels like this. I really don't like the auto swivels. I didn't like them when I was with Fly Surfer. I still don't like those. It's always having to pull in the bar to unswivel the lines. It's always an extra step on the water, especially for wave riding and foiling. It's just too much. And this is actually a nice and smooth system that can basically rotate really easily. Yeah, I've tried this on the water, like when being really overpowered, and with old school, and it's really easy to turn. All right. The system with the PU and the safety line is pretty much the same, although the spare parts themselves have actually changed a bit because the lengths are slightly different, as the power line actually no longer goes all the way through the loop. It's actually blocked up in here. It's actually really easy to replace. The depower rope now, there's two screws holding the top cap together. You pull those out, and it's actually really easy to undo the loop from the system. There will be a how-to on how to do that later. Actually, how to replace all the parts. All right, we go to the top of the bar. You have the trimmer. This is another changed piece. It's now an actual plastic molded trimmer. Before we had the red stopper ball with the webbing material. Now you actually have something to really get a hold of. It's much easier now to pull it. You can actually really settle it in your hand and pull it around. It's much easier to operate when you have gloves on. Yep. The actual trimming system is the same. We've kept the trimming bracket the way it's supposed to be, the cam cleat. What's missing now, there's no longer a magnet here. Okay. Right. Now on the bar itself, you notice that the color coding matches the leader lines. You have the red on the left, matching the red leader lines, then the blue matching the blue leader lines for right. The floats have been increased in size. This makes the bar float quite easily, and it's also quite safe in case you actually whack yourself in the head with the bar. Also, especially wave riding, I find this quite important. If you use the bar to protect yourself from the board, this won't damage your board. Another cool thing now internally, inside the floats, you actually have a knot ladder. You got 3 knots here, 3 settings, and you can really easily just pull that out, and if you need a bit more tension on your back lines for a bit more power, you can just put it on the knot closest to the kite, and if you want to reduce that power, you can also go all the way down. This is in addition to the knot ladder you have on the end of your flying lines. Remember, when you're changing this, to change it on both sides, or else you're going to end up with a lopsided bar. On the leader lines themselves, you have the relaunch assistant balls. This is really good for relaunching. It really allows you to get a hold of the bar to relaunch your kite, and especially easy on foil kites. If you don't like using the handle, you can basically use these to pull and hold onto the lines. Last year, Ozone changed over to the SK99 flying lines. These are a lot more durable and have a lot less shrinkage. Again, same as the system has always been. Along your safety line, you have the stopper ball at the top of the line to stop the bar from going all the way to the kite. Okay, I've been having quite a lot of fun using the bar. It's very comfortable in the hand. The new quick release system is super easy to use. In theory, it's actually not something I use a lot, but I've been doing quite a lot of testing with it, seeing how easy it is to reset. Especially for schools and so on, this is going to be quite an improvement, as this is really easy to demonstrate releases and resets. Anybody who uses this on the water will actually love how simple it is to reset the bar. I'm going to go on the water now and have a bit of a ride on the bar, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have fun on the water, rock on.